call the cops on me. On a mission to be champs since they let me free.
Prepare for combat, my adversaries crumble. Face it, I got a reputation for damage. Busters get ready to rumble. They lock me in a cell, have me trapped in a living hell. Though not guilty, I'm still in jail. Brother, I serve my time like a soldier. Maintain composure. My shadow boxing the fight to the death, busting boulders. Every boxer with a pair of gloves. Best give up love. Here's a man from the makings of a thug. A lethal weapon, mind sharp. And in my heart, there's a wish to shake the world with the flurry of my black fist. Now once a high school dropout, now I'm the $1 million champ. Who's the next to get?
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Cheap Seats Boxing Show. Angelo here, my boy JP. JP, what's going on, man?
I'm not alive. That's what's going on.
All right. First things first, follow the show on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box. You can email the show, cheapseatsboxing@gmail.com. Questions, comments, anything like that. And on iTunes, please rate and review. You will become the next unofficial sponsor. All it does is help the show stay at this position. 4. When you search boxing in iTunes, the biggest platform, that's what we want. But please, rate and review, people. It really does help. We shout you out. It's a fun little thing, just something to keep you guys interactive with us. And I'm going to ask for one thing, I've done the Patreon thing, whatever, fuck it. I don't give a shit anymore. I really don't, never have, because we don't
care about it like
we
that.
don't put any money into this, so we're not really looking to get money back. But what I will ask for listeners, and this is it, simple. It's a simple, easy thing. Listeners who follow us on Twitter, just retweet the show. I always pin the iTunes show link, and the YouTube one is always out there. Just retweet either one of those every day. Let's get about 20 or so retweets on that, just so other people see it and might be able to check out the show for the first time. So please do that. Please retweet the show. What's funny is I can talk slow right now because there's really not that much stuff going on. Really, it all was about 2 fights, but Alvarez and Pascal, whatever. It's whatever. Stevenson Fonfara. Stevenson gets the knockout in 2. JP, what'd you think, man? Superman.
Move your fucking head, Fonfara. I'm tired. That head that was getting hit with the same punch over and over and over and over. You know what? I'm going to say it's like Marshawn Lynch. And over and over and over and over. To the point that Russ said, I've seen enough of you getting hit with this one shot. I mean, obviously you can't stop this shit. But I ain't going to lie. It's like kind of early stoppage, but damn. I mean, what can you say? Because I don't know if he was blind in both eyes. Because it's the same shot. I don't think a person signed up for that shit. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. I didn't expect that.
Is there anything really to say? We kind of expected this. I thought it was going to be early stoppage. Look, Virgil Hunter fighters don't start fast. That's just a fact. That's not even up for argument. It's just a fact. And then, say the knockdown in the first round. Fonfara actually catches Stevenson with a right hook, but gets caught with not even a hard left. It looked like just a glancing left off the temple type, top of the head type area, and he was done. And then I guess the instructions in between rounds by Virgil Hunter was don't throw any more punches, which is a beautiful strategy, because if you want to get stopped, do me a favor, don't throw punches back. That's the quickest way for a referee to stop a fight. Even if this is what I say when people say it was a quick stoppage. Is it really? Because what do they say? Well, he wasn't firing back. He wasn't protecting himself. That's simple shit. But it doesn't really matter, because we don't think Stevenson's going to do anything. His next mandatory will be his first mandatory that he faces. Will he fight Alider Alvarez? Who knows? Will he fight the winner of Ward Kovalev? Probably not. let's go back, and you made reference to this quite a few times, and it was there was a comment that you said in passing when he fought Chad Dawson to win the title. And like I remember when I heard it from you, and I think Jacob Seraph was on that show, because we both kind of laughed when it's like watching Stevenson grab that belt and run around the ring. It was almost a metaphor for I'm going to keep on running away, and it was like the most Nostradamus, I guess you would be Negrodamus, right? It's like Dave Chappelle thing that's been said, because he has been running ever since, taking 0 challenges, facing a guy in a rematch like from Farah, only a couple of fights removed from a first round knockout stoppage that he suffered by Joe Smith Jr.
Oh, he gets on my last. Like, don't get it twisted. He's one of two. He had about 8 defenses. I didn't even know this.
Yeah, it's like up to 8 defenses.
And I'm like,
no mandatories. But.
Right. I'm like, 8. I can't knock the hustle on that. But I'm like, when? Who? You seem like the most inactive champion ever. Like that is true, because I remember he had to fight with the whole Kovalev ducking thing. Mm-hmm. He was fighting and fighting. He was like, you ain't fight nobody. You know what? I can't respect that. I just can't respect. But he's gonna show up. I guarantee you, he will be in the crowd. He's gonna show up to the fight with Ward and Kovalev too. And whoever wins, he might not challenge them, but he's gonna have to if he walks in the ring, because he's gonna say he's a real champion. But don't be surprised if he walks in and says, I'm the real champion, and challenges the loser.
Yeah.
I mean, he might challenge the winner on TV, but the fight might wind up being with the loser.
He's gonna go all Charles Hatley and challenge the wrong Charlo. He's gonna challenge the wrong guy.
If Ward wins, he's gonna challenge Ward and fight Kovalev. If Kovalev wins, he's gonna challenge Kovalev and fight Ward. Is that? Now I could be wrong, but I have been right before.
There's 4 years of evidence saying that. There's 4 years of evidence that are on the side of your argument. That's for sure. There's really nothing to take from it, because what the fuck do you say about Adonis Stevenson? Like, okay, he won, great. What's he gonna do next? And nobody knows. He's probably gonna fight fucking Thomas Williams again. You know, I really don't know what he's gonna do.
He irks me, man.
Like I said, Alida Alvarez gets the majority decision over Jean Pascal. I think it's official. Jean Pascal is done. Alvarez, and this is the whole thing, you know, like, because people like to make this argument. Oh, dude, what does it matter, man? Alvarez ain't gonna beat Stevenson anyway. That's not the fucking point. You still have to face your mandatories. It doesn't matter. It goes, and we'll hit on this in a little bit, but it goes with the Kubrat Pulev mandatory of Anthony Joshua's IBF belt. Well, yeah, Joshua just smashed him anyway in 2 rounds. Yeah, probably, but he's still the mandatory. And if a rule is a rule, then the rule is the rule. That's just the way it is. There really is 0 to take from it, because who knows what the fuck he's gonna do. This week, there's a good scrap on ShowBox. Joel Diaz Jr. versus Regis Prograis on ShowBox that I will get the stream of afterwards. It's a good prospect fight. Really good prospect fight. There was another prospect fight that fell through. Oscar Negrete and Randy Caballero on ESPN. That one fell through because Caballero had to pull out. And then in the UK, you got next month? Josh Taylor and O'Hara Davies. I mean, those were 3 really good prospect type fights between undefeated guys in the ilk of DeGale and Groves when they first fought. You know, I like this style of matchups. You know, let's separate a little bit here. And for those of you who aren't in the South, especially in the Gulf Coast area, understand that Regis Prograis has one of the best nicknames in all of boxing, the Rougarou. For you guys who don't know what the Rougarou is, that is the Cajun Bigfoot. I think that's a great nickname, man. He's from New Orleans. He trains and lives here in Houston now, so there's a connection, I guess, to all of us, huh?
He's probably a heavy drinker. I'm just gonna tell you that right.
Yeah, the Rougarou. That should be a good, fun fight. And I don't even need to pick that one. I just want to watch it. I love when people are at that where they're getting ready to make that step from prospect to contender, and that's where these guys are. This is that step, and I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. Showbox is still probably the best series that's been on in the last 2 years in all of boxing.
We'll get to it later. Cause I was about to say something about that, but you told me something yesterday. We'll get to that later.
Okay. The one fight, I guess, is the return of Bam Bam Rios Sunday on FS1. Yeah, who knew? Who knew?
It was coming. It was coming.
Fighting Aaron Herrera, a guy who got knocked out and won last year by Regis Prograis. So I guess we will kind of get a gauge of where Brandon Rios is. What does he have left? Every video I've seen of Rios in the last year and a half that he's been out, it's been him in the gym. So I guess he'll be in shape, but he'll be rusty. But his fighting style, what is his file? How much rust is really going to affect? How is rust really going to affect his fighting style? I'm not really sure. I can tell you this: you'll know if he's old if he's not letting go of his hands. That's when you know it might be. Then it's time to it's time to give it up. It's kind of where almost Antonio Margarito is at this point. Like, he don't let the punches go anymore. On his comeback, even though he's got another fight coming up pretty soon in August, I think.
He's once he starts, that's when you'll be able to see too. Because to me, I think this fight will go at least 6, because I think he just want to feel like he's getting in the groove before he actually gets him out of there. And, hopefully, I mean, if it goes well, who knows? If it doesn't go so well, maybe they make that rubber match.
You didn't know there's no rubber match. The rubber match already been made. We already talked about this rubber match been made.
The rubber match.
The rubber match.
Because it ain't, because that's the only name I could see at this particular point. If he doesn't do too well.
Well, I could see a Provodnikov if Provodnikov ever fought again.
That's the thing. That's why I was saying that. I don't know.
That
would be great.
Him and Ortiz can finally fucking fight. That'd be really nice.
That's not gonna happen, man. Ortiz and Stevenson on the same track.
What about Andre Berto?
That might could actually happen. And actually, that'll probably be in the center of the ring, just free for all.
It doesn't bode well. That's a fight that doesn't bode well for Andre Berto, because the one thing we know is you ain't knocking his ass out. You may make him quit, but you ain't knocking his ass out.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. They, you know what? That could actually work.
Yeah, he's gonna be. The only fights that he'll be in now are entertaining fights, not necessarily meaningful fights. I think that's what he has left in his career.
That's okay, as long as the check clear. Like, both of you guys have y'all names. You always you'll be fan favorite here, and people like you. You know what I'm saying? They like it, and they know we talk about guys coming to fight. Those are 2 guys who actually come to fight. They ain't coming to talk. They ain't coming to be cool. They coming to fight. That would actually work. Ortiz, I would love to see that one, but come on, man. He not gonna do that, man.
Let's stay on the PBC side right now. If I guess it's still a thing, but Brandon Rios is the biggest name that'll be on the PBC in the next, I don't know, 4 months. But Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia is now official. Now I'll talk about it. I just don't know what to make of it, man. It doesn't move the needle for me. I hear so many people or I see so many people on Twitter talking about this is a great fight. I'm like, why? There's zero that Broner is better than in the ring than Mikey Garcia. He's not better at anything in the ring than Mikey Garcia.
Like I said this before. For people who say it's a 50-50 fight, I can't see that. I can't see that at all.
Yeah, it's 50-50. It's 50% that he's going to knock him out, and it's 50% that it'll last 12 rounds. But there's the 100% that Mikey Garcia's going to win.
And I don't get, really when I look at it, I look at, would you say skill level? There are two different skill levels. Now, the thing about it that makes it worse to me is when I think of Mikey Garcia, I think of a guy who's actually progressed and realizing and accomplishing his potential. When I look at Broner, I look at a guy who has a lot of potential but has never really put it together. So I'm looking at a guy, if I would say one guy stays ready, that'd be Mikey. If I say one guy is constantly getting ready, I would say it's Broner. So getting ready always loses to staying ready. So I don't see him having, and it's worse to me because it's like now I gotta get up. It's like I'm gonna get in shape for this fight. I'm gonna get up for this fight. I'm gonna be the best I can for this fight. And it's like, bro, I hate to break the news to you, but Mikey been getting up for any fight and staying ready for any fight the whole time you've been fluctuating and playing. So I see the mentalities just don't mesh well. People might feel it's a 50-50 fight because of talent level. If we were just talking about pure talent, I could see it being a 75-25 because I still think Mikey has more talent. But, and plus, Mikey has dominated rounds against way better competition. And on top of that, Broner hasn't been on the winning side of rounds against top competition. Mm-hmm. So, for me, I just don't see it. Like them both, I think the best thing about this fight would be that Broner's mouth will promote the hell out of it, and Mikey ain't got to say too much. But I don't think Broner gonna go in well in this one.
That's good because Mikey don't say much anyway. This is just a bigger or a smaller version of Canelo and Chavez Jr. I said this on Twitter and people disagreed with that. I just understand. Because I can give you 10 ways that this. Well, not 10, but that's exaggeration. But I can give you
10.
I can give you many ways that Adrian Broner is just a smaller version of Chavez Jr. He's a guy who feels entitled. He feels entitled at this point. And people say, well, I don't get that. No, the evidence shows you that Broner actually thinks he's entitled. He just has learned to feel entitlement, where Chavez Jr. was born that way and was raised that way. They don't take the business serious because they get in shape only when it's beneficial to them. They don't stay in shape. The biggest story of this fight, counting down to it, will be whether or not he can make weight, just like Chavez Jr. We talk. It's always talent-wise, he has zero. Antonio DeMarco is his biggest win, and that was a good win. Is Malignaggi a good win? At that point, Malignaggi was done.
You know what? I give him credit because of Porter,
mm-hmm.
but
he lost that one.
No, I give him credit because Porter, Porter ran through Paulie, but it was around the same time, so that's the only reason I give him credit for it. Because if I got to give,
wasn't it after Porter ran through him?
Shit,
I'm not sure. I'm not
either. I'm
really not sure.
But I know it was like in maybe the same 6-month span.
Yeah.
And
would Antonio DeMarco be on the level of Andy Lee? I would say they're pretty similar. Both former champions. Andy Lee, got beat pretty handily by Chavez Jr. Went on to win a version of the middleweight title.
Right.
He lost it, but he had that victory. Had gimme victories against Brian Vero. That was a draw or whatever. It was a gimme, or maybe it was the victory. They gave him the victory. It was a bullshit call, just like a lot of people feel is the Ponce de Leon fight with Broner. There's a and people are more hyped on the name than they are actually what they see in the ring. 50-50 fight. We were hearing the same about Chavez and Canelo, and it was like, yeah, but what does everything else tell you about this fight?
Like,
Everything about this fight says this fight is not close.
You know what I really think about this fight? I honestly think this is a tune-up fight for Robert Easter Jr. versus Mikey. That's what I look at this fight as. I look at this fight as a band camp way to say, it's time for you to take the lead. Because if Adrian Broner could beat Mikey, that would be an upset. And that's how I look at it. It would be an upset. If he sticks in there with Mikey, he gives Robert Easter Jr. a blueprint of what he can and cannot do. So that's what that whole fight looks like. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like.
It may be. You want one more similarity in Chavez and Broner? Well, their best victory is shared by other people who you wouldn't put on that level. Like Broner's best victory is Malignaggi. So is Sam Hackington's. We don't put him on any kind of level. Chavez Jr.'s best win is the same best win that Billy Joe Saunders' best win is on. So it's like you kind of have to put shit in perspective. Yeah. Broner is just a dude. And unlike Chavez, Broner isn't that much bigger of a guy. You think of him as a bigger guy than Mikey, but they're the same height, only like a 1-inch difference in reach. So like, I don't know where the advantages come in.
He doesn't have. He does. I'm gonna say it like this. His worst disadvantage, to me, is his lack of sense of urgency. Because you never really see him jump on people early. Get rounds early. You see him wait, figure it out, piece a guy out. And because of that, it puts him behind. And he's not like a fighter like Terrence Crawford, like Ward, even like Mayweather before he retired. Like everybody knew he's figuring you out the first 2-3 rounds. But you might not win all 2 or 3 of those rounds, but he's figuring you out. But the sense of urgency is like, I got to take these next 4. I got to take these next 5. You know what I'm saying? I got to put this guy down. Like, I don't see that with him. Like, I see, okay, he's taking it easy. He's figuring it out, and then now he's down 4-0. And I like, because remember, he had the knockdown of forgot his name already. Emmanuel Taylor. That saved the fight. The Maidana fight. That was long over. He started the fight near the end, I guess, for pride because he was hurt, which is a good quality. Same thing happened with Sean Porter around 12. Well, you got to fight for pride now, so let me come out. But the issue is it's the same issue as you can say with Chavez. Like, when it's over, it's like, oh shit, let me jump on this guy. It's like, it's over, bro.
I remember Chavez Jr. having a great 12th round too. Some fight. I forget which one that one was.
So it's that. It's like,
I think we're up to 6 or 7 similarities. We got close to 10.
I can say a couple other ones. But it's that. Like, it's just that. And the crazy part about it is, the outside distractions make the fighter he's fighting have to take him seriously as far as a name, because, Broner's resume says a lot. 4 titles, 4 different weight divisions, but it's kind of like, at this point, it's kind of like when I used to like Gilbert Arenas. After he hurt his ankle, we knew who Agent Zero was. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, you're not the all-star anymore right now. He's just a guy because of the injury. But right now, Braun is just a guy because of all the shenanigans outside the ring. You know, we're not talking about somebody who looks hungry, who looks focused. We're just talking about a guy who's young but living off of his name from the past. And it doesn't look like he's trying to build his resume like other fighters, because it's really already established. So, just my opinion. I mean,
I don't know what to say. There's nothing else to say. Another fight that is officially unofficial, unofficially official, whichever way you want to put it. The rematch of Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko. I think November. Is that what I saw? November, and the IBF IBF gave him a pass, not having to make his mandatory against Kubrat Pulev. Man, if only they would have been that generous with Tyson Fury, huh?
it ain't gonna happen.
I'm glad that rematch is being made. At this point, the belts don't mean that much in this fight, and I think that's why that they haven't pulled the belts off, because they were like, so we don't need that. Trust me, those belts ain't adding no fucking asses in the seats, so it don't really matter. I'm just glad. I'm glad they're going to run it back. You know, I think it's just going to be worse for Klitschko the second time around, but who knows? Maybe it won't. Maybe he'll be more sharp for not being off for 18 months, you know?
This might be a bad fight for Joshua, actually. Just how I look at rematches. I mean, because this is a rematch where Klitschko is basically in a position to say, I could beat this guy. I could put him on the canvas. But if I put him on the canvas this time, I got to finish him. He could gas out. He's gassed out before. You know, I could get this guy. So this might be a more important fight than the first fight for Joshua's legacy, because win, lose, or draw, if Klitschko finishes the fight, his past is already there, and he's still going to be looked at as an old diehard champion. You know. But if Joshua loses this fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's going to be overshadowed, like Klitschko, like, will kind of be in that era where when Foreman came back and won the title. So it'll just send him on a whole different path. It would have a third rematch to that.
Yes, they will.
You know, because it was very entertaining. People loved it, and they would love to. You get that 3 times? Shit.
One other fight that is, I guess it's official now, right? Julius Ndongo, Terrence Crawford, the unification of the 140 division, without, supposedly, the word is the IBF is not going to sanction it, because, you know, Ndongo's the IBF? Yeah. Is not going to sanction it because he's not facing his mandatory. If only they'd follow their rules, huh?
Man, you know rules don't apply. Rules do not apply. You know, I will say this. It's nice to be a champion. Mm-hmm. You ain't finna be a champion no more. But on top of that, you got to give them both credit, because this is what everybody's ducking doing. You know, everybody, like, this man just won the titles. And he's going to take on Crawford, knowing good and well the chances of him winning are slim to none. But at least he got the heart to do it. The heart to say, maybe I got a puncher's chance, who knows. Other fighters don't do that. Mm-hmm. You know, they play around, and, you know, Stevenson played around. I look at him as the poster child, but he played around with the belts. You know what I'm saying? Same thing I didn't like about Canelo. Same thing I didn't like about Cotto. Same thing even though I like the fighters, the playing around with the belts bothers me. Broner, when he lost the belt on the scale, basically. You know, instead of fighting like a going out like a champion or taking on a challenge if people just dicking around with it. So you get my respect for that. Just that alone. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
And this fight looks like it may fall on what people are talking about, the Top Rank app subscription based channel that may be coming. That's what everybody's saying, like a Box Nation type thing coming to the US. I'll hold off. I will hold off judgment just like I did with the PBC as far as giving it, a year and a half. Let's see how things start to unfold. And then also I want to see their mission statement. You know how, like, when they first launch everything, what they're promising us
As far as
compared to what they actually are giving us. I think it's a good thing. It's a needed thing in this market. We don't have anything like that on the state side. And of course, the big thing is, well, do they have enough people on their roster right now to fill all those slots? No. But if they can do like Box Nation does and pick up some overseas fights,
that'll work
to fill in some of the gaps, like the Box Nation does by picking up U.S. fights to fill in their gaps, then in turn also reach across the aisles and work with other promoters to put on better, more competitive cards, then it will be a good thing. It will be a success as far as giving the fans what they deserve and what they want. And we'll see. We'll see what the price point and everything else is.
I said this before. I was like, as much as those other promoters was getting on the PBC about some of their practices that they didn't like, I was like, eventually they're gonna start implementing some of these things. So I think the PBC side, they looked at it. It's like, there's too many fighters if you ain't gonna make these matchups. This side may be too little fighters. I guess I don't know if Golden Boy would be in the middle or not as far as stable concerned, because everybody, because their flagship is Canelo, so you don't really see the big picture of all of their fighters. Plus, a lot of their PBC fighters are freaking from Golden Boy anyways. So, personally, I think it's time for people to work together, and maybe they don't want to work with PBC, but if Top Rank could work with Golden Boy, you get what I'm saying? So it's time for the people to put. You can't build your brand in boxing nowadays with just your stable. So you're gonna have to just reach around, because I think that's the problem with Top Rank now. That with Manny dying down, though Terrence Crawford is their best fighter, kinda. Because Lomachenko. So it just depends on who's talking. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, you're gonna have to find some. You're gonna have to finagle some ways, because it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy at all.
They also have Jose Ramirez, who's going to be selling out a baseball stadium next.
And
he's selling out arenas. He's about to sell out a baseball stadium. Maybe a minor league stadium, but goddamn it, he's going to sell out a baseball stadium.
But that's the bad part about it. Like, he's like, with all of this time that has passed, we talking about Manny, Crawford, Lomachenko, but he's like under the radar.
Yeah, because
it's constant numbers though.
Yeah, because you got the young guys like Stevenson and Michael Conlon. Don't forget that you also have Joseph Parker over there in New Zealand. That's part of his stable, so you'll see some of his fights. Jose Ramirez isn't the most talented guy, but goddamn it, he can sell some tickets.
And like you could put him on other cards or bring people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just whatever, man. It's not my. Who am I? I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Just an old country boy that don't know too much.
Jose Ramirez going to fight at Chansey Field in Fresno, California,
Ah,
home of the Fresno Grizzlies, your AAA affiliate for the number one team in all of Major League Baseball.
here
The
he
Houston
goes.
Astros. That's right.
Here he goes.
All right. This is going to be a little bit shorter. But the one thing that we were going to finish off on this week, we talked about it. We talked about young fighters on the come up. And, like we did last week, the 5 who our eyes tell us are the 5 best, most talented fighters in boxing. This week, the 5 best fighters, 25 and under. These are your guys who are the future of the sport, possibly, that have the most potential. And that's the way I've looked at this list. It's not necessarily where they're at, but where I think that they're going. So, there will be guys who aren't on the list. Champions already, guys like Gilberto Ramirez, Jesse Magdaleno, and Jezreel Corrales. Guys like that are not on the list because I think the 5 that I got will, even if some of them are champs now, some of them are. 3 of them are, and I think they will all be better than those 3 that didn't make it. And don't forget, there's guys like Canelo, who's 26, and Robert Easter Jr. is 26, and the guys just on the edge. But I'll start this off. Number 5 for me is a guy who will be in that World Series boxing tournament thing on the cruiserweight side. Murat Gassiev, 23 years old, already a champion, beat Denis Lebedev, and is probably only second in that division to Alexander Usyk. Gassiev, that's hard. Like when you see him, he looks like he's 35 because that's how a lot of those guys look. But he's 23 years old. He's only getting better. And he won't get the pub because, of course, he's in the cruiserweight division, and nobody gets publicity in the cruiserweight division. But Murat Gassiev is my number 5 guy at the age of 23. Who you got, JP?
See, I was looking for extras and extras and extras. All right. I'm going to do a champion right now. He's 25, Joseph Parker.
See, he wasn't even on my list. There you go.
Because the way they're playing around with the heavyweight division, they're stalling these guys out from actually fighting each other. So now Parker doesn't have to fight Huey, really. Mm-hmm. And him and Wilder's not going to fight. And Joshua's fighting Klitschko. So when you play this out, and plus he's with Top Rank, he's going to actually have time to grow and get better. But at the same time, he's going to have time to maintain a title, which other guys may not. So
he'll be like,
and plus he's New Zealand. It's like a whole different.
Yeah.
He'll
be like Adonis Stevenson. He's already had 8 title fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't even really look to Joseph Parker. That is a good call. For me, number 4 is the youngest guy on my list, 20 years old, David Benavides, the super middleweight, who has basically got everybody saying, like, especially after what he did to Porky Medina, and we saw how James DeGale, who at this point now is considered probably the best 168, him and Gilberto Ramirez, and he's trouble right now for either one of those guys, and it's probably 50-50 with either one of those guys. And he's at 20 years old, he's only getting better. He will, at some point even probably he'll win a title most likely at 68 and at 175. 20 years old. Shit, he could at this point put on 32 more pounds eventually and go to cruiser. But he's got people excited at 20 years old.
Shit, number 4. I had to double check the age on this guy, O'Hara Davies. Just because of the way he talks shit in England. He's undefeated, good knockout percentage, actually an exciting fighter when you want to watch it. So, what he can bring to the sport if he actually maximizes his potential, I think it'd be great. And because he will actually be a mouthpiece, and that'll entertain the shit out of me just personally. And, if you want to say what boxing is, it's either in UK or Mexico. So he's got the platform. So that's number 4.
Man, we look at our list are different so far. I love it. I love it. Number 3 for me, and this is because he still needs to make that next step, especially for the top 2 or 3 people, and he doesn't have a title yet. Isn't in any title talks right now that I know of. JoJo Diaz at number 3 for me. What is he, 24 now?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He's close.
One of Golden Boy's young guns under Canelo. Of course, it's Canelo and everybody else. And JoJo is the top of the list of everybody else.
That's my number 3 too. I've been riding with it for years. I'm not gonna stop now. I think just keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna get there. I still believe he's got the talent. You know, he has ups and downs as far as pitching his style. But I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, when its moment comes, he's able to fight the perfect fight. He's able to switch up round by round and get an advantage if he wants to. And if you can't knock people out, that's a hell of a skill to have. Mm-hmm. And I can't say he can't knock people out, but he doesn't have that one punch knockout power.
No, he doesn't. He definitely does not. Number 2 for me was pretty easy, and I think it probably might be your number 2. 22 years old, Gervonta Davis, who has been extremely impressive his last couple fights. Who is it? Who did he win the title off? Mendez or Argenis Mendez? I think. Am I right?
So. I believe so.
And then, of course, his last Liam Walsh
beat the
fuck out of him. No, it wasn't. What am I saying? Argenis Mendez. That was fucking Robert Easter. No, that wasn't Robert. Yeah, that was Robert Easter. I think that was Robert Easter.
Yeah, you're right.
He beat the Puerto Rican. God damn it.
Yeah. The dance in front of him.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck am I thinking, man? That's terrible. That is terrible. That's a bad call on my end.
I remember the dance. I can't remember the name right now.
You know who's another Puerto Rican who wasn't on this list?
Felix.
Man, that guy fell off, hasn't he not? He's only 24, but man, at 24, how are you struggling to hold on to your spot? But Gervonta Davis, I mean, he looks to have the poise, the patience, and definitely the fucking power. The 3 Ps, huh? But he has the potential of all these guys to be the biggest star out of anybody on my list. He's got a mouth on him. That helps get eyes on you. And if you're backing it up, sometimes it isn't talking shit.
True.
Is that where you had it?
Yeah, we got the same top 3. The thing about him that I like the most is I haven't seen a fighter use power in an unorthodox way to win it since Roy Jones, and he does that. Like, you're like, what the hell was that he just threw? Well, it really doesn't matter. I don't know what it was, but it worked. You know? And because of that, he can box, but when he just freestyles, it's entertaining. And you know it's going to hurt because the guy can punch. So, he's right. You're right. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. But you got to make weight.
Yeah.
No more three times. Just make weight. You know? Because I think he should at least fight some more at this weight. You know, you just got the belt. Just make some more bones, you know, before you try to go up. But, yeah. Oh,
by the way, it was Jose Pedraza. I had to rack my head through it. Who's actually got a fight coming up against Jamel Herring pretty soon. It's pretty sad that I think they've each got one loss, and it's almost a crossroads fight for him. The sad state of boxing where one loss, and, this guy just saying... I'll equate it to my baseball team. The Astros just came off an 11-game winning streak, right? And the first game, they've lost two in a row now. But the first game that they lost, they gave up big lead, and it felt like, what the fuck, man? I mean, I know there's 162 of them, but how'd you lose? You can't lose. I mean, it's just like that's the sad, like that's the expectations, that the level of expectation that they've built. And boxing fans have put that level of expectation on their fighters. Like, you're not allowed to lose.
It's pathetic. You know, it's fun to see the undefeated fighter, right?
Yeah.
And it's the anticipation when he's gonna lose. But if somebody loses, they're not done. Like, look, if you lost a card game to your uncle, you're now not the worst spades player or poker player ever in life. Like, bitch, you just lost to a full house. You never coming back from this. Exactly. Like, come on. You know, but this is one of the weird politics, because a guy could lose a fight and fall off the map. And the crazy part about it is a guy could be a big name and not as entertaining as the guy that lost the fight. But everybody, oh, I want to see. You just want to see the name. You don't actually want to see the fighter. This fighter was actually better. He had just lost than the guy that you want to see, who's probably lost plenty of times, but he's built the name. So sometimes it sucks, man. Because but we said this before. This cripples these younger fighters. Because when's the last time you heard Amir Imam's name? That's a problem. Like, people gonna turn on Chimpa. Hey, you're not gonna give him a second chance? Like, really? You know what I mean? Like, let these guys grow. You know, like a guy like Farmer, he lost very early, few times, but he went on a run. Sometimes you at least let these guys, give these guys an opportunity to go on a run again to get their names back. I think that's what bothers me the most. You never get a chance to make a run after you lose. Mm-hmm. That sucks.
I mean, without that mentality, we would never have a guy like Orlando Salido, a guy like Tevin Farmer, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, guys who lost early in their careers. Like, oh, well, they lost. They're nothing, you know. There was another one that lost their very first. I'm trying to think who lost their very first fight and lose again for
Bernard.
Bernard Hopkins. But back to the list. Our both number one, I think, is pretty obvious. Naoya Inoue, the monster. I hope that's who you had.
He's gonna knock everybody out.
The former champ at 108, 115 now. What is he, like 12, 13 fights in? About to invade the U.S. Only 23 years old. That's the scary part. Only 23. Now, he is a smaller guy, so he's got a smaller window. Maybe it's 24. Maybe he just turned 24. But it's right in there, 23, 24. He's got about another 5-year window at that size to where he can really, really dominate.
And I think because he's a smaller fighter, people don't know. So I'll say it like this: there were fighters that we talked about years ago, and we told people, watch these young guys. And people were like, that's not the big name. But if you watch the guys, you can see why we say watch this guy, because they were entertaining. You could see the future of boxing in these guys. Inoue is one of them guys. Like, maybe if that name comes up, you're like, who is that weird name? Remember Inoue. If somebody says Inoue, say Inoue. I heard that before. Watch him. It's like, remember they used to call him Favre because they didn't know his name. But he was exciting. He was running around the field throwing bombs and interceptions at the same damn time. But it was fun. Inoue is throwing bombs, no interceptions, just bombs.
Not yet.
So if his name comes up, I don't care where it's at, watch it. It's worth it. But that's it.
So there you have it. Our 5 best fighters under the age of 25, or under 25 and under. I think the top one was a no doubter. I think top 2 were no doubters. If you wanted to put JoJo lower, I could get it. If we did,
I can't. I'm on the team.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you guys want, just tweet at us at Cheap Seats Box. Your top 5 on 25 and under fighters. There's a lot of people. I mean, he put Joseph Parker on there.
Joel Diaz could be technically.
Jezreel Corrales. No, he's 26. Oscar Valdez 26. That's why he wasn't on the list.
Because that's how I can look at. I had to look at Robert Easter because he turned 26 in January.
So there's a lot of different people that you could put on the list. O'Hara Davies is a good one. See what he does with Josh Taylor. That's going to be a good fight. But there's a lot of guys. Erickson Lubin, is he 25? Yeah, he's about 25. 24, isn't he? Yeah. There's another guy. There's a lot of guys under the age of 25. I think it's a good time right now for young fighters, as far as talent.
They're gonna take over boxing just because of all the politics.
Yep. So you can tweet us about that. You know what? Like we said, follow the show on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box. iTunes, rate and review. Yes, sir.
And wishing the best to Kel Brook. He's gonna have surgery soon, so hope he hope it's successful. Hope he has a full recovery.
The true $6 million man. He's gonna be like Darth Vader. He's more machine than man at this point.
If he could force choke a bitch.
Rate and review on iTunes. Help keep the show up there. You will be the next unofficial sponsor. We will shout you out. Please, people, if you follow us on Twitter, just do me a quick favor and just retweet our show. That's it. Just retweet it. Don't like it. You can like it if you want, but I want the retweet more than the like. Only because the retweet, it gets sent back out to the people that follow you, who may not in turn follow us. It's a thing, helping thing. I tend to retweet a lot of shows. Also one of the shows that actually mentions a lot of other shows on this show, and we don't actually ever get mentioned on anybody else's show. It's kind of bullshit sometimes.
Hey man, look, retweet us and we'll send you twerk videos. Not of us, motherfucker.
No, that's not true. I don't have twerk.
Because I know y'all DMing all kinds of pictures and tweets to people. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this girl I knew. If you could tweet them, you could retweet them.
Yeah,
if
you
you
retweet a
us.
twerk video, then you can retweet our show. We're giving you free shit every week. I think we're just going to end it there because I got no other words. JP, you got anything else, man?
This is where the fighters fight, the fans commentate.
And we do it just like you for the cheap seats because we ain't buying no tickets, goddammit. Peace.
Again, I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me